Hey guys, it's Eddie the Magic Monk. In this video, we're going to start talking about forms in Microsoft Access. So the whole purpose of making forms is to have another way of looking at the data that makes more sense to users of the database who are not familiar with databases. So when you are looking at a table like this, you're able to see how it works because you're familiar with the database. So if the data, for example, suddenly had 30 columns or whatever, you can scroll left and right, scroll up and down, find the data you want, enter more data. But for someone who is new to databases, who doesn't know what's going on, they need a clearer way of looking at the data. So that's where a form comes in, to help them understand the data, to help them enter new data or interact with the database. So let's now create a form so that you know what I'm talking about. So the easiest way to create a form is to click create, and you want to go to form wizard. Okay, the reason why you don't want to just start the form design is because you will get a blank form and you have no idea what to do. So let's just start with a wizard, which will make it really easy to help us get started. We only have one table here, but let's say you had multiple tables, you would see them in this drop down. And let's drag in what fields we want to show up in the form. So let's just drag all of them in and click next. So here is where you can change the design of the form. If you like different designs, feel free to just try it out and see what it looks like. If you don't like it, then you can just get rid of it. But here you can see we're just going to start with the columnar one, so I can explain to you what these things are. And let's just call it students input form. All right, just so that you can understand what the form is a little bit better. Open the form, click finish. Okay, so here is the students input form. Okay, so the columnar layout means that you have the data down one column and you have the labels for the data in another column. So here are the labels, here are the actual data. So let's go into the design view so you can see a little bit better on how this works. So in a form, these are the things you have. You have what's called controls. Anything you can click on that it's highlighting in a different color, these are all controls. Now there are two different types of controls. You got a bound control and an unbound control. A bound control means that it is related to a field in your database. So this control right here, this object right here, is related to the student name field. Okay, and you can see here when you click on this box, it says the source of the control. So the control, just to reiterate, is just an object on the form. So this source comes from the student name field in your table, student name. Okay, and this control, the source, comes from the gender field, birth date field. You can see it all over here. So this property sheet, when you click on a control, the property sheet will reflect the properties of that control that you can change. So the birth date control source is birth date, but let's say you suddenly want to change it to the student name, then you're going to have Brian Chen as well. But obviously we want it to relate to the birth date. Okay, so from this view, okay, if you want to go back to the form view, you can also click next record here to scroll through the form. And right now there are only 5 people in my school. So these are left, right, the last record, the first record, and create new record. So these are the basic buttons you have on a form, and you can see that is right down the bottom, which is also not easy to see for new users. So that's something that we're also going to change. Okay, and then you can create a new record here. So if you were going to insert a new student, you can click new blank record and just type in the new student. So I can go John Burton, just making it up, male, birth date 7th of July 2003, username JBURT6, something like that, and just go to previous record, and next record you can see it saves automatically in Access. Alright, so that's how you create a very basic form. We're going to teach you more stuff about forms later on. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.